Do we need to crack a few jokes to get in the funny mood?
That's gonna be hard for you.
Okay. I feel like this needs to be closer towards me. That actually did so much. Because I'm literally like not in frame. Was it? I think it was further back last time, was it?
They can still see us.
Okay.
Hey.
Hi.
Okay. So
welcome back to our podcast where we break down the movie Space Between Us. It was gonna be 5 minutes at a time, but we don't like these minutes, so now today we're breaking down 10 minutes. Anyways.
Okay, so we've got some housekeeping. Okay. So first of all, our first episode was recorded before Christmas. We took a bit
we took a bit of a winter break.
We took a winter break for like a month
for
or two.
You, it's only been a week. For us, it's been more than like a month and a half. That's okay.
So we don't have the Christmas tree anymore. Instead, we have a Mitski vinyl. It's actually the red one. So my brother got it for me for Christmas. And then we have this Angel Mommy Saint candle. And if you don't know Angel Mommy, look her up on TikTok. She just came out with a new song. It's really it's a really good song. Okay.
I don't know who she is.
Okay.
And then we have this candle.
And then we have this candle, which Ellie also gave to me because I have all my candles behind me and we'll be switching a candle each time probably.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Okay, so we can start with the recap. So
and this is of the first 10 minutes, not 5 minutes. Don't get confused. I know that's...
No, it's the first 5-minute recap. Because I'm recapping the...
You're recapping the last episode?
Yes.
It's been a long time for us, so I guess it's...
did you write a recap for these 10 minutes?
Yeah, that's what...
I thought we were just going to go over it, but...
Anyways, no, yeah, you can go over the first 5 minutes.
Okay.
Nothing really happened.
I actually don't know what I wrote.
Solid. Okay.
This is actually going to be cut out, Ellie, because I'm going to be editing this time.
He's going to be editing.
Oh, right. I forgot to talk about our housekeeping stuff. So, we're going to switch editors each time we record this. So each edit will be, like, very different from the previous one. Because Ellie doesn't like to cut out an
awkward moment. Because I think it makes it more real, and that's a lot of work. In fact, but Luke says he's going to make his more camp. So I'm honestly kind of scared.
It'll be more Slay than Ellie's, but...
Speaking of Slay, what's the name of this episode today?
OMG. As I said the episode before, it is going to be called The Slay of Sarah Elliot.
And it actually works because I forgot how much slaying Sarah Elliot did in these first second 10 minutes.
Yes, Sarah. Yeah, Sarah. Okay, so here's the recap of the first 5 minutes. It opens on our fave, Daniel Shepard, who we referred to as Old Man last time.
I also wrote down his name.
Because I actually did not know his name, so I decided I should probably learn his name and not call him Old Man, who starts describing the new East Texas mission to Mars. We learn this is a mission for the first people to live on Mars. This section ends with the introduction of crew and lead astronaut, Miss Sarah Elliot.
Sarah Elliot.
Sarah!
That's so cool. It was probably the most boring 5 minutes I've ever seen in my entire life. Because it was only about Mr. Old Man himself. And Sarah Elliot didn't actually start talking until these minutes. So it was probably really not fun. You know? So then let's talk about what happened in the next 10 minutes.
Okay, so the first quote that I have written down is, you know what it's like the night before a trip?
No, because I wrote that down too. It's when Sarah comes up, the first thing she says out of her mouth was, sorry if I don't have enough time for questions. You know what it's like the night before a trip.
I actually took that first as a drug reference.
Okay.
What did you take it as?
I took it as... I took it as she's packing for a trip. Like going, I don't know if you know this, but she's actually the head of the space program, and she's going to space. So
Why do you think they laughed?
I don't know. I'm gonna keep track of all the bad quotes, and I think that's the first one. But don't worry, there'd be so many others, especially when Asa Butterfield and our Smart Street girl, Little Tulsa, comes into play.
Tulsa, who's literally the lead actress in Scream 4. She literally is in the first scene with her little sister who gets murdered.
Well, okay.
There's like the Screamception.
Yeah, the Screamception. Like a few TV show, yeah, you guys understand. You know, she gets slayed. It's unfortunate. We were really sad while watching it. I almost started crying. I shed a few tears.
God.
You literally tearing up?
Because I actually hit myself in the eye this time.
Okay. So then after Sarah literally is the funniest person on earth, she says that she... I don't know what I wrote.
I have written down Sarah is scared. Like
Because
Trina Vega in Chicago.
Yeah.
I'm a girl in Chicago and I'm scared.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what Sarah's talking about right
Sorry.
now.
I was thinking about this 10 minutes.
Yeah, no, I would too. Some bad stuff happens in the end of these 10 minutes, and maybe we'll never get through talking about them.
With Ellie's loud mouth.
Hey!
Oh my god.
Oh, literally, she's been crying. Oh my gosh. So she talks about how she's scared, but it's an opportunity. And that's basically all she does talking, and then they walk into the space, and all the spaceship, and all the rich people all run out with their little martini glasses to go take pictures of it.
I almost started laughing at that part because they were like little children and they were like, I can't wait to go see the rocket ship.
Normal adults don't actually act like it was the doors open behind them and there was the spaceship. They literally all jumped out of their chairs and ran towards the spaceship and
in their little tuxedos and cocktail dresses.
Yeah, and they're and they were taking pictures, but one girl was literally taking a picture at a 90-degree angle and she was bending down like this. I would have taken a picture just to post it on our new Instagram.
OMG, shameless plug. Follow our Instagram. I don't know the @
It's at @the.funnypapers. Anyways, so yeah. So a bunch of rich people, they're little children. And I guess it speaks a lot about current day, you know? Anyways, so the space lifts off and they dock onto the Mars station, which reminded me a lot of my favorite movie, Interstellar, because they dock a few times in a space station too. Which I also figured out was one of IMDb's top 100 movies, so.
Did you also realize that is what happens when there's space missions?
Yeah, but Sarah Elliot was so good that she docked it a lot better than the space people in Interstellar did. So, she kind of slays the game. Yeah, and then Sarah throws up. And this is where I was kind of confused, because she throws up while she's in space, I feel like that'd be pretty natural. And then one of the guys, because it's her and a bunch of guys, walks into the room, and he's like, Sarah, can I talk to you? And then the next scene, they know she's pregnant, just because this dude saw her throwing up and automatically knew. I was confused why that guy would automatically know that when she throws up in space, her first time ever going in space.
It doesn't insinuate that he asked her if she's pregnant right after that happened.
It does.
Do you think they have pregnancy tests in space?
I actually have a fact about this, because I looked up, can babies be born in space? And it said, probably not. But it did say that NASA's official policy forbids pregnancy in space. And women are tested 10 days prior to the launch. It was also, that wasn't actually that. I was like, yeah, whatever, that makes sense, whatever. But the best part was the title for the article, which was, Houston, we might have a major problem making babies in space. And so I automatically clicked on it. And, anyways, I don't know how to lead off that.
I actually have something written down that says, yes, neck veins.
Oh yeah, because there was a zoom up of them like going into space.
And she was like, OMG, like, space, and she was a lot of neck veins going on.
Yeah, I guess, I've never been to space. Maybe that happens.
It's okay because Sarah did it. Okay, let's see. Written down. Sarah is pregnant. And our best friend Nathaniel Shepard was like, OMG, let's bring them back. They have a baby now. Which, okay,
Yeah.
like...
Didn't Nathaniel Shepard be like, we can't bring them back because he doesn't want to jeopardize?
Oh, right. I actually don't remember who said that. All I know, there was a conference room and they were like, she's pregnant. We cannot tell anyone that she's pregnant. And then they were like, but we need to talk about bringing them back.
Yeah.
Which is just like, okay, like bring them back when? Because they're not going to get back before the baby's born.
Exactly.
So what is the point of bringing them back? Like the baby's going to be born anyways. And it's better to be on Mars because there's more gravity on Mars for them to have the baby with.
Exactly, but that's not the thing. It's like, oh, well, you see, because how long does it take to actually get to Mars? I feel like it would take more than 9 months. Because it made it seem like, because somebody asked Sarah Elliot a question in a little thing. It was like, how does it feel to use 4 years of your life up in Mars? And I thought that was like the trip to Mars, but I realized that it's probably not that.
All I know is 2 months later, it was after the convention where they lifted off. It said 2 months later, it shows her throwing up. And then it's, can I talk to you? She's pregnant. So their timeline is, we know who the father is, and let's just say the timeline is she was pregnant before she left space.
Yeah.
Not to spoil anything at all. She was pregnant before she left space. So 2 months, she's 2 months pregnant.
And
so
it takes 7. Oh yeah, so I guess it takes 7 months to get to Mars. So I guess the math does that up.
Oh, of course. She just happens to be a 9-month trip to Mars.
Oh, of course. Unbelievable. But she ends up having the baby.
Oh yeah, she has the baby right when they land.
Oh yeah. No, there's a shot of like the two guys like helping her out of because she's like giving birth basically as she gets out of the spaceship.
Yeah, and
to
she's
go to
like
Mars.
limping.
Yeah.
Which my question was she actually giving birth? Or did they think that a woman couldn't just like walk as she was pregnant as there was literally less gravity on Mars?
Oh, I feel like it would be, yeah, would it be,
So
it would be
easier for her to walk. So I don't know if she was giving the baby right then when they landed, because I feel like them entering the atmosphere and her like in the process of giving birth.
Would it push the baby out of her?
No, that is not what I'm saying.
Okay.
Because the gravity, I actually don't know how force works right now, but something would have happened where the baby, you're not even supposed to fly in an airplane.
That's true. I mean, this isn't possible, really. That's what we're trying to get at. And she gives birth right when they get on Mars. And the baby is the healthiest looking baby I have ever seen. Like, it's probably like, it's like, there's like no discoloration at all. It looks like a great newborn baby.
I forgot about this. Nathaniel Shepard is watching in his car this woman giving birth. And he's just sitting there like, just giving.
Yeah.
I'm watching this woman give birth in front of me. Isn't that like the reason that like women sit down to give birth is because that king wanted to watch it happen?
I think so.
I don't know. I saw that on TikTok and I'm not going to believe it because that's not a credible source. But
I always say TikTok's a credible source.
That's why I'm doing the research.
I literally said I did research and he was confused on what I did research about. So maybe you should check something. I don't know. Check like your
Good one.
check like your
Good one.
Check like your
Good one.
Okay, whatever. Yeah, so Nathaniel Shepard is watching like a little kid that's watching Scooby-Doo on the back of like a car. And he's like also in the back seat. I feel like he'd be in the passenger
Yeah, he's
seat.
like watching Barbie and the Princess and the Pauper
Yeah.
and like
It's like on the back of the car.
switching back and forth to like Sarah Elliot's birth.
Yeah,
giving.
And then, dare I say, after Sarah looks at her weirdly healthy, amazing looking, not gross looking newborn child, she dies. She She like
She
looks at it.
slayed.
Also,
Actually, this episode should be called the slay of what's it? Gardner Elliot, because he technically did slay his mom.
That's true. I was confused on how she had such a good pregnancy though. Like also, why don't they just like okay? Can we talk about how easy it probably would have been to have all your 9 months pregnant in space with 0 gravity? Like you wouldn't have to bear any of that weight at all, you know?
How would you know? Have you ever been in space pregnant? You don't know the new problems that come into play.
My privilege.
Houston, we have a problem giving birth in space. Whatever.
No, it's Houston, we have a problem making babies in space.
Yeah, so you wouldn't know.
I know, I'm checking my privilege. That I've never had to have the misfortune of having a baby in space.
Misfortune. Babies
are a beautiful thing! Yeah, so that's basically all that happens.
That is not all that happens.
Oh, no.
After Sarah dies, Nathaniel gets out of his car and just starts walking. He's in like the middle of one of those like hills. I don't know where they are.
It looks like Arizona.
It looks like Arizona. It looks like California.
Maybe
it looks like
Texas.
Texas. I wonder why it was called Texas. But it looks like he just gets out of the car and starts walking.
Yeah, and it's really dramatic. And he just watched Sarah Elliot give birth and die. Yeah, and then they started like talking about like what to do with the child, but we didn't really get that far.
It's got a ringing in my ear.
Okay.
Oh, so you don't care?
I swear I do. There's nothing I can do about it. I looked up after figuring out that old man's name was actually Nathaniel. I looked up who his actor was. It's Gary Oldman. I also looked it up because I found the funniest quote ever, and one of the quotes said that Gary Oldman, this was his worst performance ever, which I did track, and it is not because he's been in a movie that had 7 Rotten Tomatoes, which I think is pretty bad. I always get confused about the Rotten Tomatoes score because I don't know if I feel like 7's a bad score. But apparently Gary Oldman was literally Sirius Black in Harry Potter, which I didn't expect for him to get such a low gig. But also I didn't really like Sirius in Harry Potter, so like.
This is not a low gig. This is a high gig because she's working with Asa
Right,
Butterfield
with Asa.
And whoever plays Tulsa.
Britt, whatever her last name is.
Oh, why do you know Asa's name and not her name?
Asa Butterfield rolls off the tongue. Britt, Robert, or whatever her last name is, starts with an R.
Tulsa.
She's Tulsa in my heart.
Lana Del Rey has a song about Tulsa. It's called Tulsa Jesus Freak.
That's so cool.
So she probably wrote it about her.
Probably. I would write so many songs about Tulsa.
No, you wouldn't. That's a lie. Don't lie.
Anyways.
If you knocked on a candle in here, I'm going to be really mad.
I would be mad, too, if somebody...
Because you'd light my house on fire.
Okay. There weren't any... Gary Oldman was also in The Woman in the Window. Yeah.
The woman in the house across the street from the woman in the window?
No, unfortunately it was not the woman in the house across the street from the woman in the window, but it was in The Woman in the Window, and...
Was he the one who killed the girl?
I didn't really look into that much. I was like, that's so cool. I've heard that before.
I watched Trixie and Katya review the movie. Movie. Newbie with that girl.
Whoa, yeah.
You say that because you don't know what
I know exactly what you're talking
What's
about.
Newbie?
Newbie's like before movie previews.
Yeah.
We literally went to a movie together. Not together.
Thanks for watching Newbie.
Yeah, because you could have done that little game with the newbie game that the guy in front of us were being really annoying about. And so I got into looking at other actors, and then I got into the directors because there weren't any prevalent actors in this scene. And I did find out, which I mentioned in the first take of last week's episode, but I didn't mention it in the second take. So I'm just going to mention it again, that the director, Peter, I think it's Chelsom, directed Hannah Montana as well as Space Between Us. Really is the best of both worlds. Chill out, take it slow, then we rock up the show. I just thought that was beautiful. All of his other movies don't look good. But Hannah Montana was a real find. It didn't show up in his top movies though, so I had to specifically look up Hannah Montana with the director again. So maybe it actually wasn't him. Do you have anything to talk about?
I can talk about the girl who eats a banana in falsettos.
He literally didn't even prepare for this 10-minute
Stop it, because I have only been watching the girl who eats a banana in falsettos for the past 3 days.
Yeah, he showed it to me. It was great.
Down. Look it up. I actually forgot her name right now. I think it's Stephanie J. Block falsettos banana. And it's at the end of the video, and I think it's like a Tony performance. But it's Stephanie J. Block singing I'm Breaking Down for falsettos, and it's really good.
Yeah, that's so cool. Does that have anything to do with the movie?
It has to do with my well-being.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. You know what you could have also done for your well-being? Prepared for these 10 minutes. But you know what I did last night instead of doing my AP Gov homework? I found a quote. I'm working better in my transitions too. That was pretty great. I'm gonna blow out the candle. If you really stop it right now. Okay, so there's this one quote that really sums up these minutes because not only do I really not like Nathaniel Shepard, but it's really sad that Sarah kicks the bucket. And it's, let's save the hemming and hawing. Space between us is terrible. No need to add much else to the sentiment. It's a bad film that you'll have a bad time watching. Period. And that was also on Rotten Tomatoes because the Chromebook decided to not allow me to go on IMDb, and I obviously don't have any other electronics. So I think that professional dude was just he knows. So that's another reason why you should watch this movie, which I did end up buying on Amazon because I was afraid I would get a virus. Luke isn't though. Did we even introduce ourselves?
You're a wimp, okay? Oh, don't put on that face because you know what it is. I've used 1, 2, 3 movies on my little iPad that could give me a virus at any moment, and guess what? It doesn't. And you have to buy a $10 movie on Amazon.
You know what? Maybe?
Don't be mean to me when you tell me that I did none of my research, when all you did was find a little quote. Just a bit again. I can't do that. Stop making that face.
I also found the smash hit article, Houston, we might have some major problems making babies in space. Did you do that? You didn't even look up space between us in your browser once.
I don't want to talk about this anymore, okay?
Can you believe him?
We need to end.
Can you believe it? See you in the funny papers.
Bye, Elegy, bye.